Potential employers and even your current boss are probably looking at your online stamp.
Police have a saying that 20% of people are committing 80% of the crimes. You know, here in Savannah, Metro Police Chief Willie Levitt tells me that repeat offenders are a huge problem. So the question remains, does the Altamaha really roam these waters?
Cleanup efforts getting underway in Georgia after a tornado touched down on Wednesday.
Metro Police and the SWAT team brought out those 5 suspects.
A repeat offender makes a court appearance today for his 53rd arrest in Chatham County. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Hausman.
They have found multiple knives inside of this home.
And we're going to need some scarves and some mittens and some little earmuffs. It's not a secondhand store because a lot of what's there is new. You know, Jeff, I don't know what the temperature was today, but I actually got outside and mowed the jungle in my backyard, and I thought I was going to die. Investigators say a Savannah man drove off during a traffic stop and hit a Metro Police car in the process. Police say 37-year-old Michael Russell was arrested Monday night. They say he ran over construction cones while being stopped by police on White Bluff Road. That's before driving into a police cruiser. Now, the officer wasn't hurt. However, Russell now faces 8 charges, including reckless driving, obstruction, and driving under the influence. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office still investigating the drowning of a Hardeeville man. 21-year-old Benito Los Gonzalez was pulled from a 10-acre pond on Solomon Lane in Pritchardville on Sunday night. Witnesses say Gonzalez saw a boat with 3 people on board, and it began to sink. He then jumped into the water and tried to rescue a friend, but Gonzalez drowned. Beaufort County Coroner Ed Allen says alcohol may have been a factor, but he's still awaiting test results. You know, Jeff, I don't know what the temperature was today, but I actually got outside and mowed the jungle in my backyard, and I thought I was going to die. So it had to have been pretty warm out there.
It was really hot.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, we have road construction projects causing some traffic delays to pass along to you. Expect single-lane road closures on I-16 and 516 while crews repair guardrails there. It's going to happen daily from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. The Georgia Department of Transportation also reports various ramps on I-16 will be narrowed but not closed. You're asked to drive carefully and slow down while passing through these work zones. Well, of course, you've seen their work on our series Spooky Town, but now the entire country will meet Savannah 3D Ghost Hunters. The paranormal investigators will make an appearance on the A&E Biography channel. The group will be featured on the show My Ghost Story later this fall. Members of the 3D Ghost Hunters recently flew to Los Angeles to shoot part of the show, and yesterday a crew from A&E was in Savannah to film the paranormal investigators in action at the Savannah Theater. Country music superstar George Jones is retiring, but not before one last go on the tour circuit. The 81-year-old releasing a statement saying the upcoming shows will be his last after more than half a century on the road. He plans approximately 60 dates across the country as part of the grand tour beginning next year. One stop here in the hostess city. Jones says he'll perform many of his hits such as White Lightning and Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes. The News Today also says he's starting work on a new album with fellow icon Dolly Parton, who will contribute to that project.
90 degrees.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, hundreds of firefighters are battling a raging wildfire in Northern California. The ferocious blaze in Lake County has charred about 7,000 acres and is now 30% contained. Mother Nature not cooperating, dry conditions and triple-digit temperatures making things very difficult for firefighters there. But some good news, hundreds of evacuees have been allowed to return to their homes. This is just one of many wildfires tormenting the West Coast. Now to Philadelphia, where residents say they are fed up with their furry neighbors as raccoons have taken over an abandoned house. Fox's Shawnette Wilson has the story.
Jennifer and Casey, it almost was. It all ended here at Bull and Pearl Streets right behind me as Metro Police and the SWAT team brought out those 5 suspects. After that search led them here. Take a look at that moment. Our cameras were rolling as that moment happened, as the SWAT team members brought out people one by one out of that apartment building. Now, one man, the one in the white and camo shorts sitting on the ground in the video, was identified as the suspect. Police were able to do so by bringing the victim, the man kidnapped from the Family Dollar on Duran, and the witness to the scene. Now, how this all unfolded, it was a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon that the suspect kidnapped kidnapped the employee from the Family Dollar, forcing him into his car. They took off driving and ended there on Montgomery and 52nd Street. That's when the victim actually jumped out of his car and ran to a man for help. Here's what that man had to say.
He jumped out of the car. He was going to die by himself. That's the only thing he said to me.
Of course, folks in this area were on edge all throughout the afternoon. Of course, police releasing little information at this time as their investigation continues. Of course, we'll bring you up to speed as the information is released to us. And throughout the day, our Tabi Sabanda from WJCL was on scene, and she also spoke with many people in this area who were on edge, and businesses as well. Tabi, thank you. Again, it was a quick wrap-up, Metro Police say, and they were glad it ended in a safe manner because they didn't want anybody to be hurt in this situation. They did tell people in this area to stay in their homes as they were searching for those suspects that they did bring out at this apartment complex here at Bull and Pearl. Casey and Jennifer.
Lyons is a small community in Toombs County, Georgia, home of the Dogs. And now it's grief-stricken after a 15-year-old teen, Courtney Wilkes, was murdered while on a family vacation in Seagrove Beach, Florida.
Courtney, I love you so much. You're such an inspiration to me on and off the field. I will always have you in my heart. Lisa Espino.
Lisa Espino graduated last year from Toombs County High. She was a lady dog playing soccer with Courtney her freshman year. Lisa didn't know Courtney like some of her other teammates, but now wish she had.
I just wish I would have talked to her somewhere and got to know her. But she was such a nice person.
Locals like Mary Williams are saddened by the news, allowing for girls like Lisa to come in and sign a card for Courtney, and now working on memorials for the team. The Flying T for Toombs County, and a soccer ball will be home to the number 14, Courtney's number.
It touches everybody's life because you might not have, just like me, did not know her personally, but you know the family, you know the circumstances, you know the coaches, you know the school system, and it does. It hurts so badly.
Proof of that hurts here in a makeshift memorial at the high school. Posters, balloons, a teddy bear, and as the centerpiece, a soccer ball with the number 14.
I still can't even believe it right now. I don't understand what kind of person would, I don't know. I just still can't believe it.
Life, you know, is just wide open for them, and to know that life can end very tragically and so abruptly. When school let out a few weeks ago, they had no idea that Courtney would not be following them with the soccer team next year.
A tragic ending to a bright future many will never make sense of. Reporting in Toombs County, Georgia, I'm Lindsay Hausman.
If you live in southeast Georgia, you've probably heard stories of the Altamaha, a sea monster inhabiting the waterways near Darien. Stories dating back to at least the early 18th century. So I decided to take a trip down 95 to McIntosh County, where this legend is alive and well. Could a sea monster call these waters near Darien home? Since the 1800s all the way to today, fishermen, vacationers, and townspeople have said to have seen the mystical creature known as the Altamaha.
They all said the same thing. He was about the width of a torso, a male torso, grayish brown, kind of slimy looking, and he'd vacillate through the water. And here he said, like, this was about estimated that this creature was 30 feet long, maybe 2 feet wide, and he would just go vacillate through the water.
Kathleen Russell, publisher and editor of the Darien News, has recorded witness accounts for years.
I have seen what I thought was him in Doughboy Sound, across the sound, and there was just a wake going across the water with nothing there except nothing was vacillating. And by the time I ran the boat over there, it had dived down into the water.
Skeptics say what Kathleen and others have seen may have simply been sturgeons mating in the river. Well, after some research, marine monster documentation records, and yes, there's such a thing, they show more than a dozen sightings in and around Darien, some as far away as Maryland.
But you'll see here, 79, Champney River, Darien, Champney, Altamaha, Darien. A lot of them are here. You'll see Chesapeake Bay, Potomac River, Chesapeake, and then it comes right back. Smith Lake is up the Altamaha River, Smith Lake. So he likes it here.
So could there really be a long-lost cousin of the Loch Ness Monster actually living here in the coastal empire? If so, for you folks hitting the waters, you don't have to worry about the Altamaha, nicknamed Alty, because it's said that he's friendly.
He's something now in McIntosh that we're known for our Altamaha, which is fun.
So the question remains, does the Altamaha really roam these waters? It's a mystery that will ever remain unsolved. Reporting in your neck of the woods, I'm Lindsay Hausman in Darien, Georgia, WTGS Fox.